How does it feel? How's the week before round one feel finally?
Really good. Yeah, looking forward to it. Seems like it's been a long time coming, but no, we're excited. We're in a good place. Had a good pre-season, really solid and strong with what we want to try to achieve, and looking at our game style, etc. And now it's just about playing for points. So we're really excited. A healthy list, and yeah, can't wait.
If you sat down at pre-season with a list on a whiteboard of things you wanted to tick off before this point, have you ticked most of them off?
Pretty much, yeah. There's been a few tweaks to the game plan, which we're really happy with how they're progressing. It's always great to have nearly a full list available for round one, so we'd love to have all of them there, but we're pretty close, so that's fantastic. And now it's just about the players. They rocked up in really good condition after the break, and so now it's really over to them. They've done the work, they're ready to go, and yeah, hopefully it's a good start for us.
Ben, you can coach game plan and skills and fitness. How can you coach mental desire as soon as the first ball's bounced to make sure they're in the right frame of mind?
Yeah, you can coach a bit of that as well, but it's the way they rock up. It's what they want to stand for, I guess, as a footy club, and personally as well. So I think that'll take care of itself. Round one, you don't need any bigger occasion for them to be really switched on, and it's a big part of the game. I think, especially now with some of the rule changes as well. If you're not in for that contest, you're going to be defending all day. So yeah, you train that a little bit, but they'll rock up with the right attitude.
We've heard how good the pre-season has been. From your point of view, like Max said, you've ticked a lot of the boxes. Has it gone as smooth as you've seen?
It's been pretty good. Yeah, I mean, we've had our hiccups, and all teams have them, but I think the best thing about it is the numbers we've had on the track, numbers available. Then you can work on your game plan. I think at times last year we had 20 players, 21 players on the training track. It's hard to really actually train for footy really with that many players on there, but having a full squad available, you can put into place what you want to achieve and try to work on. So it's been really smooth.
So there's no real excuses then from what you've had available to you, and there's no real excuses for...
Oh, we don't. No, we don't make excuses anyway. Whether you had 21 on the track or 38 doesn't really matter. But no, we've set ourselves up well. Proof will be in the pudding, and hopefully we can, put our best out there, which is what we're trying to do.
Just on the list, Paul Seedsman, how's he travelling? Firstly, but also, does it make selection easier or harder without him, given there's so many guys competing for spots? No,
it's hard. Selection at the moment is really hard. We'll probably have some guys who probably, you could say deserve to play, maybe miss out for round one. So it's a hard position, but it's a good position to be in. So Seeds is tracking along all right. The operation went really well. He'll probably look like he'll miss round one, but he's keen to actually give it a try at training during the week just to see how it feels and what we can do there. But at this stage he will miss, but someone will come in and play their role really well.
How many unlucky guys will there be? I mean, obviously you played 22. Are you looking right now at 28? Is it 26? What's the number of the guys who are going to be pretty stiff to miss out?
Yeah, it's hard to put a number on it, but yeah, I mean, that could be half a dozen to a dozen guys who you think could deserve to play in round one, or certainly have pushed their case, and that includes some older guys, and it includes some younger guys who have pushed up really well. So yeah, there's a number there. It's a great position for us to be in.
It's so different to last year, I guess, given the pre-season you spoke about last year, and even going to round one you had guys that weren't fit. So how much better are you now compared to 12 months ago?
Yeah, a lot better. We're in a better place, no doubt, and that's just from the availability of the players, but also the stuff we've been able to work on. Like I mentioned earlier, because you have a full list, you can train how you want to and train what you want to. So yeah, we're pretty confident that we're looking forward to having a good start anyway.
Is that game plan you speak about, that faster ball movement as much as anything?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's a holistic thing about how you want to play and how you want to cover the ground, I guess, and that'll include some ball movement, but you've got to be pretty smart too against, depending on who you're playing against and what type of ball movement you use. But ideally, yeah, we'd like to move the ball quick with the new 6-6-6 rule. You got your, more often than not, you'll have forwards in one-on-one contests, or equal numbers forward. So the quicker you can get into your forward line, the better.
So with Season's injury, obviously, like you said, he's trying to get this week, but is he a chance more likely for round two?
Yeah, more likely for round two. We'd love to give him every opportunity to get up and play round one, but it looks like more than likely round two. Yeah, I think he's had a pin inserted into his little finger, so let's make that heal first before we put him out there.
And Luke Brown, how's he progressing?
Yeah, he's probably maybe 6 to 8 weeks away. Looking good. It was unfortunate that it took a turn for the worst. He was progressing reasonably well, but yeah, 6 to 8. It's unfortunate because he's a pretty handy player for us. But yeah, maybe around 6 or 7.
So your back line though, it sort of helped you got Jack Kelly who can play sort of talls and smalls, and he's been pretty good during the JLT as well.
Yeah, he has. I think we've got a number of options down there. I mean, we talk about Smith and Miller and Laird in their attacking flair, but they can defend and defend really well also. But Jake's done a great job for us over the last couple of years on talls and smalls, and if you do need a lockdown player, he's one that we go to. So, yeah, I think we've got a good balance down there.
Is it hard to balance though with those 3 guys who you mentioned offensively? Like they're such good ball movers and just use the ball so well. Is it hard to balance the kind of defensive side of things with the offense?
No, not really. Not really. We love the way they play. We want them to get a hold of the ball and use their flair. And they also understand that when it's time to defend, you need to defend. And we think they've got a really good balance of that at the moment. We'd love to have them keep getting a hold of it and defend when they have to.
Just one on the kick-in. Do you think this year, we talk about it every couple of years, but can we see more of the torpedo, the barrel, given the slight adjustment of the rules?
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. We've got a couple of guys who can actually kick it reasonably well. So, yeah, it'll happen. But again, it's a call a little bit on the day as well from the player as much as a direction from the coach. So, yeah, it'd be great. It's interesting. We haven't seen a lot of clubs doing it yet from the small sample we've had, but yeah, if you can take that advantage and get that ball in your half of the ground, then why wouldn't you have a go?
Do you train that? Do you train that at all out here at the Trust?
Oh, they will kick it. Again, not from direction from us, but they'll have a go at it. They've seen how far they can try and get it a few times, have a competition, so Brodie Smith hits them pretty well.
So it's only Seedsman and Brown out of your best 22 really?
Yeah, well, it's interesting trying to work out what is your best 22, but it can change from week to week. But possibly at this stage, yeah.
How keen are the boys to make up for obviously grand final 2017 last year? Didn't go as you were planned. How keen are they to mentally to bounce back hard this year?
Really keen, and you can tell by the way that they rocked up for training. Way back when we started, they want to get into it. Didn't fall the way we liked last year. For a number of different reasons, injury being one of them, form another clearly, but yeah, they're pretty keen. So when they rock up in a condition ready to work and work hard and having a bit of fun along the way, they're pretty keen to reach finals again and go from there.
Most of the captains around, the league have said that they think, the Crows will return to top 8 form. How much do you share that sentiment?
I hope they're right. Yeah, no, we're pretty confident in what we've done, and it's really hard to tell, to be quite honest. We'd love to. I mean, every club would sit here right now and say that we've had a great pre-season, etc. But so it's hard to tell. The first few rounds are going to be interesting, and you'll work out where we sit pretty quick. But we'd like to think we've done everything possible, and we'll see where we land.
And if you project forward to the end of Saturday night, outside of 4 points, what is it you and the coaching group need to have seen to make sure that, to give you a bit of peace of mind that everything you've done over summer has come to fruition?
That's a very good question. Without giving it all away, everything we've worked on over the pre-season. So it'll include the way we move the footy, which we spoke about earlier. Can we move it with a little bit more freedom than possibly we did last year? But also how we structure up defensively. I think because of the new rules as well, you have to defend a little bit differently, and it's something we've worked on pretty hard over the off-season. So that'll be in there as well. But I think above all, which without being boring, guys, it's about how we compete. To be quite honest, if we compete well, pressure the opposition, and then try and move the ball with speed, we'll be pretty happy.
With that defensive changes,
what are they?
Where, like in terms of, do you drop a guy back, or when you say you have to defend differently, how do you do that?
Yeah, well, I don't know what other teams are doing, but it's more for us. I think it's being able to defend the ground a little bit better, the whole ground, so that maybe that's a bit better coverage of the ground in defence rather than probably last year getting a little bit man on man too often. So. If we can defend the ground better, then we'll be happy with that. With
the centre bounce, obviously the 6-6-6, it seems like the bounce you like starting your wingers a bit further back of centre. What was that? Why have you sort of decided to go down that path? Other teams have sort of gone further up.
Yeah, we've done a little bit of both. I think I don't know how often that came up, but yeah, we'll do a little bit. Sometimes it's defensive running, sometimes it's a bit more offensive running. So that'll be an in-game call, but you've got to have the flexibility to be able to do both, I think. So it's a little bit. Last year we were able to put players off the back of the square, and we did it quite a bit last year. So clearly we're not allowed to this year, and we have to find different ways to go about it. But as we all know, it puts a fair emphasis on what happens in the centre square now, and it's nice to have some players back through there that like Brad Crouch is good, and Roy Sloan back in there they're pretty hard out and can win that ball and burst out. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it folds.
How much a bonus do you guys to have those halfback playmakers, Laird, Miller and Smith?
It's great for us. Really good to see Brody Smith back as well after only playing 2 games last year. So, look, they'll add a dimension to us that we probably missed a little bit last year, having all of them there. Wayne with another 12 months under his belt and established himself as a great player off half-back for us. I think with the rule changes, the ability to take ground and actually take the yards and get the ball going quickly into your half is important. So having guys who can kick it well and actually run the lines will be important for us.
How about more experienced lists in the competition? A lot of talk about the runners rule. Less important. We've got a more experienced list. Is that almost work in your favour?
I don't know if it works in your favour, but I think having guys who understand what we're looking for and how to play, and almost being under the tutelage of the coaches for a couple of years now, they understand what we're looking for, and they're pretty good, I must admit, so far at getting that done out on the ground without too much influence from us. There'll be times when you need to send a runner, and so I'd love to still see it available in some form, whether it's a limit every quarter, I'm not sure, but our guys seem to be handling it pretty well. So, but the game throws funny things at you.
How likely are we to see a debutant this weekend?
In the mix, yeah. If you're meaning Chase Jones, yeah, he'll be around the mark. I think he's shown everything that we want him to. He's a real diligent kid. He's got some speed. He kicks it well. He makes good decisions. So he's certainly in the mix. I think he's when he played a small amount of game time against Port up in Port Pirie, he looked like he knew how things were operating and got a good taste of it. And then to do some things, he didn't have a heap of possessions against GWS, but what he did was so important for us, so we like what he brings.
Is his cause helped by Seedsman being probably unavailable?
Yeah, possibly. We haven't had match committee yet, but possibly. I think that one of the things he does bring is flexibility. He can play a small forward role. He can go onto the wing. I think he's even spent some time inside as a midfielder during the pre-season, so it'll certainly help him.
In terms of the women's game on Saturday, look, I know we don't know when the match will be played. Will it be before or after round 1, your round 1 match? Would you like to see the men's game prelude the women's prelude?
I'd just love it to see it at Adelaide Oval, whether it's before or after. Doesn't bother me, and not up to me to make that decision. But I think it'd be fantastic if they get an opportunity to play at Adelaide Oval, and it's been fantastic to watch them this year, and Matty Clark's done a great job. But yeah, whether they play before or after, I'd just love to see them at Adelaide Oval.